Hi everyone, Warren here. Day 21 of my COVID isolation. Hope this video finds everybody doing well as can be expected given the current circumstances. One of the things that I've been doing over the last couple of weeks has been reaching out to some past clients, some past participants, and just checking in on people and asking questions about how they're doing. And for my own curiosity, what is it that people are drawing from the past work that we've done together that might be helping them? And as expected, I got any number of different answers. It's a beautiful thing about the work that we do at Refinery is people find their own meaning in things. However, there were some themes that came up, and one of the themes that I was actually asked to do this short video on that I'm about to drag you through was around Viktor Frankl's work and the power of choice. I love Viktor Frankl's work. Viktor Frankl, if you don't know, was a neurologist and a psychologist in Vienna going into World War II. He, along with his entire family, was swept up by the Nazis and subsequently put through a number of death camps. He survived, as did his sister, but unfortunately the rest of his family perished. He ended up writing a book about his experiences called Man's Search for Meaning. And in that book, I'm just going to read this here, was how he found the will to survive by finding personal meaning in the experience. And he created a new type of psychological therapy called logotherapy that was about meaning. And behind it was this idea that we have the power to make choice. And one of the things that I share in some of the work that I do is there's a couple passages that I take from the book, and I'm going to read them so I get them right. One of them that I absolutely love is everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. I think incredibly powerful stuff coming from a man who survived horrors that I couldn't even begin to imagine. I mean, I'm stuck inside my house here for 21 days. Hardly a comparison. So I draw a lot of inspiration from this man. There's also another phrase that I bring forward in workshops, and this is, I don't mean to demean his work, but to bring it down to something that's a little bit more concrete for people, is this paragraph. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. I take that even further to make it as simplistic and accessible for people as possible. I boil it down to three words: stimulus, space, response. Those three words seem very simple, yet it'll take a lifetime of practice to actually begin to get anywhere near perfect. And we will never get perfect. We're human beings, we're not designed to be perfect. We are wired to actually react to stimulus. It's part of our biology that protects us in times of threat. And I would suggest that today's environment for all of us in some shape or form is triggering a threat response, particularly for, well, not particularly for, but certainly for leaders in organizations. The VUCA world, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity, the chaos and disorder that's attached with this. These are things that most of us have never experienced, certainly this degree in our personal or professional lives. So our biological threat system is going off like gangbusters. And what happens with that is our body goes into response mode or react mode, which is our heart rate increases, our respiration becomes more shallow, we release cortisol, which is a stress hormone, adrenaline, all of this, like our blood starts to move away from our brain into our body. We're getting ready to fight or flight or flee, all of these great things that have kept us alive. However, all of that going on is not necessarily conducive to making the best choices. So how do you do that? There's any number of ways. I'm not here to say that my way is the best, but it works for me. And I've had feedback from countless people that I've gone through workshops with and offered this to them, and it's worked for them. So maybe give it a try because it's something that you do every day. You're doing it right now. At least I'm assuming you are if you're watching this video. It's breathing. Specifically about taking one solid breath. For me, it's 6 seconds. I take a 3-second inhale and a 3-second exhale. that 6 seconds creates the space that I need to change from stimulus react to stimulus space respond. And by the time I get to that response level, because I've taken this breath, I've reduced my heart rate, I've oxygenated my body, which means I'm actually flooding the prefrontal cortex of my brain with the fuel it needs, oxygen, glucose, all the great things that are required to actually make conscious, rational decisions under stress. So you're breathing anyway, so give it a try. I know it works. It works for me. I know it works for a lot of people that I've spent time with over the last many, many, many years. And what have you got to lose? And give yourself the space to practice. This is a lifetime practice to actually get to this point that Frankl talks about creating the space to respond, particularly when we're feeling under threat. So give it a shot. Any questions, reach out to me. You know how to find me through LinkedIn or my email address. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.